the sun's not out, but I still got the guns out, baby, today. That's right. Nightly Fix, like and subscribe. Please head to our YouTube channel, Foolish Club Media. Like and subscribe to us. And we do have playoff basketball happening right now, and it looks like the final series in the first round of the NBA playoffs is going to come to an end, and it looks like right now as the Warriors, who almost blew a 3-1 lead, they now lead 98-86 with 46 seconds left. 98-86 as Golden State's going to the line, and this one is going to be a tough one to swallow. Buddy Hield hit 3, and that became, for many people at the Toyota Center in Houston, y'all know the move. Look over to whoever the hell you with. Maybe it's your homeboy. Maybe it's your wife. Maybe it's your husband, whatever. And you say, get the keys. Let's get the hell up out of here. Let's try to beat this traffic. Let's get up out of here. I've watched as much as I'm going to watch in this shit. I'm done. I'm out. And we saw many Rockets fans smartly hit the exits and getting up out of there. Maybe people going to drown their sorrows in Edo. Not sure. But it looks like it is going to come to an end. And this was tough. This was tough because Steph Curry was struggling. They were defending him well. Steph Curry had 3 effing points in the first half. 3 fucking points in the first half.
Oh, now you're cursing?
I don't know why I said effing to begin with. But 3 fucking points in the first half, and you still down by 12. And then of course you knew he wasn't going to just sit and just chill right now, and of course he didn't, and he has 19 in the second half, and he has 22 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, right, nearing a triple double, and the Rockets have 86 points, or 89 points now, and they have, and that's with them rolling here and getting points, and Golden State kind of letting them kind of gain points to try to get the clock to run out. And I mean, and they're going to lose scoring potentially under 90 points in this thing. And that's the thing. And it's tough because Steph struggled so much, and really a lot of the guys struggled a lot in this thing. But you let the likes of Buddy Hield come in here and work you over. Buddy Hield goes for 33 points in this game. And then Jimmy Butler threw in 20, and then Steph finally came alive in the second half. Just a tough one to swallow and to deal with as the Rockets. Great season ends against Golden State, and they had all the momentum. 3-1 lead, and they came back and won at home and blew them out. And then I thought played like a huge, mature game and went into Golden State in game 6 and won that game, and then came back home. And I'm not going to lie to you, Osita, I used to be extremely sports superstitious. Like, try to bring a piece of wood into stadiums with me to knock on just in case something bad was happening. Wear the same outfit, socks, drawers, whatever. Something didn't feel right when they decided to wear them H-Town jerseys and didn't wear their regular ones. That's the superstition you feel you're feeling bad about right now, because I didn't have good mojo when they came out in them jerseys. Like they came out in like their side jerseys, and they did the whole court the same way. Right. I just didn't have good mojo from the jump from that. Like, you don't wear an alternate jersey during the playoffs. You wear your jerseys. You wear your damn, and that from the beginning. Now, I know that's not why they lost. They couldn't hit me in the face. if I was standing in front of them. I know that's not why they lost, and they do end up losing 103-89. But I know that's not why they lost. But it just felt bad mojo in there wearing them H-Town jerseys. I'm not blaming them on the jerseys just right off. I said, why are they wearing those? Had bad mojo right from the jump. But
I blame you, Ron.
but no, man. What the hell did I do?
blame you. I blame you because every time Houston is in some sort of championship high stakes game, and then we have our podcast that night, and I know as soon as I see Ron, it's going to be the last 2 minutes of the game, and we're going to lose. It happened with U of H. It's happening again with the Rockets. Look, man, you came to Houston to make a home, and you're giving us your bad mojo, man.
I was I just want to let you know I was the first voice you heard for the Houston Astros celebration when they won the World Series a few years ago. When you came on the air, it was the first voice you heard at Little Woodrow's. So bump that. You can kiss my ass on that. They won a championship. Bump that. Okay. They've made the playoffs the last 2 years in football, and they've been awful. Okay. Leading up into
there was no podcast going on at that time.
It's just a podcast now. So you're not me speaking about them on an everyday basis, just specifically to the podcast. 2 opportunities. Yeah, right.
I don't think that's fair, but I do think maybe there is something to Houston losing the national championship game because of that. But this thing with the Rockets, I don't think is fair to blame on Ron. I told you guys from the start, nobody believed the Rockets would win this series. And then really it should have been over earlier if it wasn't for Golden State sleepwalking through the back half of it.
No, that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. They weren't sleepwalking. They got their asses kicked. They got their asses handed to them.
Houston, to their credit, I think was impressive. I think Houston proved me wrong a little bit, but they're still getting eliminated and still no longer in the playoffs.
I mean, I'm looking at the stat sheet, man. Dude. Draymond Green can't go for 16 points. Draymond Green cannot go for 16 points. He outscored the Rockets' leading scorer by 8, who is their leading scorer on the year in Jalen Green. Who is, by the way, this is going to be a tough offseason for Jalen Green. He is going to be, I think Jalen Green might go to the top of the list right now, currently, of biggest athlete in Houston that their own fans dislike. He is a heel in his own city. Maybe Dalton Schultz was that prior, but I think Jalen Green completely let them down, to be honest. And I'll be honest, and Serda was saying this prior to the series, and again, I don't think he's right on it. But I don't think he was wrong on it. But
it kind of seems like I'm right. Yeah.
I don't think he was wrong on it, but I think we could probably make a big case for Serda coming out of and just coming up with a bunch of shit for each series, of which he didn't really watch, but just kind of fool around and throw some shit at the wall that might hit. But but I do think ultimately, big picture wise, Osita, and Osita's, I think, kind of mad. I don't think he really is, but he's gonna go down with the ship for at least 15 minutes. But I do think this brings clarity, and this, in some ways, is a good thing for the Rockets overall. In some ways, because look, they pushed this Warriors team that has an all-time great player. They have at least 2 Hall of Famers on their team, and Jimmy Butler may be another Hall of Famer. They got down 3-1 to this team. They fought back, got it to a Game 7, and then finally let go of the rope then. But they learned a lot about, themselves. This is something that gives you experience, 7-game series against Golden State. And then what Serda said, we all kind of knew. But Osita, the thing about from Houston folks is, well, hold on, let's just let this young group play together. Like, don't make a trade. Don't break them up. Don't break them up. Just let these young guys, don't break them up. Don't break them up. No. This team needs a big star type player, right? Like, they didn't have anyone to turn to when the game got close. And their leading scorer, Jalen Green, in the series scored 7, 38, 9, 8, 11, 12, and 8. If he could have just got one more bucket tonight, he would have had a straight. He would have had a 7, an 8, a 9, a 10, 11, and a 12-point game outside of the 38. And he had gotten another bucket tonight, he would have had a straight that he had laid down. OCD averaged 21 points a game during the regular season and played as their best player and was the guy that people were like, no, he's going to be a star. He's going to be a star. And I think the thing that they have learned is whether it's Kevin Durant, it's Giannis, or to me, the perfect fit, Devin Booker, whatever it is, they know this ain't a deal of, hey, let's just keep them together and see if these young guys, like there's not an Anthony Edwards that developed out of here. There is not a SGA that developed out of here. There is not a like, all right, we lost in this series, but Donovan Mitchell developed, right? No, they know clearly these MFers had Steph Curry that could eventually take over the game and Jimmy Butler, and we just had dudes that just we couldn't turn to, including our number one dude. So I think ultimately they now know in the offseason they have all the ammunition. They've got all the picks. They've got young players that are advantageous. They got money. They know they got to go get a Kevin Durant. They got to go make a play at Giannis. They got to go make a play at Devin Booker. And the thing is, they are a place that people would want to go to. And as I just said, they have all the ammunition because athletes love to live in Houston. Athletes in any sport with the exception of hockey.
Athletes, comedians, rappers.
Yes. They love to live in Houston. So they've got money. They're an advantageous place. You ain't got to try to pull strings to direct people to Cleveland or Milwaukee or Toronto. No, although I've heard Toronto's really nice. But you don't have to do that. You get Houston. You can do it. They scored 89 points, and that's because they went off in the last 2 minutes when the game was over already. They were sitting there with 70 points late into the fourth quarter. Whew. Just rough. But they know Jalen Green is not going to be the answer. Come on, man. That man averaged 21 points a game this year as their leading scorer. He scored 7, 8, 9, 11,
Who are you
12.
trying to convince, Ron? Who are you trying to convince? I watch the same game you watch, bro.
Sounds like a great contributing player, not a player that you could say is like the cornerstone of your roster that will carry you to greatness.
I think they've learned Amen Thompson is more of that guy than Jalen Green, and his game you will hope develops. But he looked good after he got those first two days out. But damn, they got big teeth as Buddy Hield. This son of a bitch, he can't even close his mouth when he's standing up there, and he'd have hit you, busted your ass for 33 points. Now, man, this is tough, but this has been a great season for the Rockets. It sucks right now how it ended, and you feel like you had this. You had Golden State, Steph Curry on the ropes, bad thumb, all this and that. You had them on the ropes, and you couldn't pull it off. But ultimately, to go from where they have been to Ime Udoka shaking off the Nia Long situation, leaving Boston, coming here to Houston, and Udoka, he messed up. Nia Long.
With who?
The head coach of the Rockets. He was with Nia Long, and he's the one that cheated on.
Who's that?
Okay. Is this what you're doing here? Okay. I got you. Almost had me there. No, not almost. You had me. But they're shaking it off, and then get to the 2 seed in the tough West, and going 7 with Golden State. They learned a lot here, and got a lot of experience from some of these guys. This is going to help Şengün. This is going to help Amin Thompson. This is going to help Tari Eason. I don't know what to say about Jalen Green. This is going to help Jabari Smith, but unfortunately, they just didn't have enough. And Serda was right, as he likes to hear that. He was right. Tough one, man.
At least we didn't go out like
Nailed
the
it.
Lakers. At least we didn't go out like the Lakers, man.
That's fine.
True.
Man. Just
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. That's fine.
It's true.
I mean,
Houston showed something at least. Like they
You know
put
what I'm
up a
saying?
fight.
We did a little something. It wasn't,
Yeah.
it wasn't like, Golden State in 5. It was
Yeah.
it was we fought to the end. We didn't just,
Yep.
start planning our trips to Cabo. And do they even go to Cabo? You think they go to Cabo? That seems like a more of a touristy spot. They probably didn't start planning their trips to Belize or something like that until, now they're getting on their flights. Now they're thinking about their flight plans instead of, prior to the last game like the Lakers did.
Yeah. They fly to like private remote islands, like not just like resorts.
And just the maturity of a sportsman. I'm not gonna lash out about other teams because my team didn't get it done. It's about my team, and as you well know, both of the teams are going home in the first round and sitting on their asses.
But
in the first
one
round.
lasted a little bit longer. You know what I mean?
Sure. But again, that's
one
the
was,
that's the immaturity of a sports fan that hasn't really been there a lot. Like, hey, man, it's the Rockets. I don't know what you got to turn to other teams. Just the Rockets, man. Handle your business. But that's all right, man. Good season for the Rockets. Good season for the Rockets. I don't need to trash the Rockets. I don't think there's anything to trash them about.
Damn right. Because we lasted 7 games.
Sure. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Great performance.
Thank you.
Just didn't have enough.
It was.
Just didn't have enough tonight. Damn, it's tough. Well, Steph in Minnesota. By the way, I think that one will be interesting to compare, to see what the Warriors do with all of the size and what Minnesota brings, and that actually will be a good comparison to what the Lakers did, because they are small. They're even smaller than the Lakers are. But I think they will use more size. Like, they play Draymond at the center. Draymond is 6'6", listed, maybe 6'5". Rudy is 7'2". So like that's who
Jesus Christ.
that's who he started. Right. And we saw Julius Randle punish the guys inside, and right now it looks like either Buddy Hield or Podziemski will have to guard him, and that's a tough one. But that'll be one to watch, though. Yes.
Is that something that the Golden State Warriors aren't thinking about? Like, I mean, have they not thought about that prior to the playoff run? Like, the fact that they need a bigger big man? Like,
no, I mean, they do this. That's how they play, though. They feel they've won championships with Draymond at that position. Now, I think they will not do what JJ Redick did. JJ Redick was just, first off, JJ Redick is a rookie coach, and this was his first time in the playoffs. I don't think Steve Kerr will just be sold to one thing. I think he will be open to making different changes. They've got a couple of big guys over there, like Post and Kevon Looney, that they'll play, and they'll play more. But like, if they're just getting their heads bashed in on the boards, like, I don't think Steve's just going to sit out there and just stay with the same lineup. So, but they have played, but nobody has played small ball more than the Warriors have. So it will be, I think Steve Kerr is more equipped and a better coach right now than JJ Redick. So it should be interesting. But all right, let's jump in a little early, man. Let's get a little early heat check in. Let's slide in here a a little early
All
in
right.
this piece as again, Rockets, they lose game 7. Cleveland wins or loses game 1 at home to the Pacers. Pacers come in and upset Cleveland. That's Cleveland's first loss in this postseason. So a lot of good NBA action tonight as Golden State will move on to play the Minnesota Timberwolves coming up in the second round as everything is set, falling in playoffs. But let's do it. A little heat check.
Okay, guys. So as it is the Lord's Day, I wanted to start off with something a little bit.
It is Sunday.
It is a little bit mild as far as like the heat check. Steven, can you post the photo that I sent you?
Yes.
Thank you.
2 secs. And while we wait,
3 secs.
I need another drink.
All right.
The hell is
Now,
this?
if you own these, would you rock these?
Them shoestrings is cold blooded. Like you mean just rock them? Just they are very clean. Just rock them as is.
Yeah, as
And
is. If you
look
had your worn, you know what I'm saying, like your tennies, like I don't know, maybe you mowed the lawn in them or something like that. Looked like this person was probably laying some asphalt in these, and then drinking coffee and then spilled them all in the same shoe while he was laying said asphalt. Would you still rock these?
No,
I went
not
to
out.
like to the grocery store, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Bet. Okay.
Hell.
Now, so where I work, I see a lot of young people, right? I've noticed that there is a trend in youthful sneakers where they like to rock dirty Air Forces. It's just their thing. They don't.
It's not just
like
Air Forces though, right? It's any.
It's dirty everything. They run them into the ground. They rock beaters all day. So Nike has decided to, I guess, to sell this as a shoe. This is the brand new Nike Air Force One Dirty Edition that they're selling for $130, y'all. $130 for these old, beat up, disgusting Air Forces. And what they said is that this outer shell that you see, that's obviously coffee stained and dirty and just gross looking, looks a little mildewy near the sole and everything like that. If you do take a toothbrush, you reveal another layer inside that is even dirtier, apparently. So they just sold you.
So you can get them dirtier if you clean them.
You can get dirtier if you clean them. It is the opposite of what you were supposed to do. I grew up in the era, and I'm sure Ron grew up in the era because he's older than me. He's an old man. Of where you would take toothbrushes to your shoes pretty much on a nightly basis because you always wanted to rock fresh shoes, right? I don't know what's going on with our society. It's probably the collapse of Western civilization as we know it, where the antithesis is the end goal. They are looking for the dirtiest sneakers possible, and in this consumerist capitalistic society, Nike has given them people exactly what they want or do not want. I don't know how I feel. I mean, I know how I feel. I definitely wouldn't rock these fuckers, but apparently people want it. So, yeah.
So this is just like a trend. Like people like it's cool to have dirty shoes now. I just would assume that it's because everyone's broke and like people
No,
don't
it's
have
just
money to be buying shoes.
people. I know kids that buy like like they'll say they'll buy Chucks or something like that, right? They buy Chucks and then they're just like, ooh, clean Chucks don't really look cool. I got to get them dirty a little bit. And so like they'll literally be like, I'm gonna go, walk around outside in my Chucks for a little bit just to get them dirty so they look worn in. Now I do that with things like boots and stuff like that. Like just because I want the boots to be worn in properly, I might wear them out and walk around for a while and these boots just to kind of break them in, but not necessarily to get them dirty. These are kids who are specifically looking to get them dirty. And if you look on TikTok, there's people who airbrush coffee stains onto fresh white shoes to get this effect. And like I said, Nike, being the global company that they are, decided to appease the masses by selling this dirty shoe.
This is
just buy shoes at Goodwill or go to a thrift store and buy used shoes for $7. Like
Yeah, maybe how much better is it if you buy them and you don't have to put your feet into the feet of other people that have already had them. This is Nike's a little late to the party. Oddly enough, as we finished our last show on Thursday, I watched an episode of Elspeth, which I had on the DVR. CBS. Shout out to Elspeth, a kind of a cop lawyer catch 'em show. And on the episode, the killer killed he didn't know he was killing a prince, but he killed a prince because he thought he was he was just going on a check off, a bucket list. I want to kill somebody. And so he just killed a guy that he thought was maybe like homeless or ragged. But it was a prince that was trying to really get to feel of America or whatever. And he dressed up. And anyway, he had these ragged shoes like you're describing, and they were like $1,800.
Jesus.
They were and you could look them up. They like this is a very common thing. You can buy some for $500-600. You can buy some. Like I said, Nike is late to the party. There are a lot of companies. Like I'm looking at some right now that are $1,200. That you can buy. Golden Goose got them bad boys for like $600 that you can buy, dirtied up, kicked up. Yeah, it's a trend. It's a thing, and yeah, man.
Oh, those are disgusting. For $600, you were not kidding. That's crazy.
Steve, you probably got a bunch of pair of shoes that you probably trendy as hell in.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe. I usually just toss them. I don't really keep the shoes when I get new ones, but I might just start going and buying shitty old shoes and then reselling them because apparently there's a huge market for this kind of
Now,
thing.
let me ask you all this, and I don't know if you got this in your research. Is this a Two Americas thing?
Definitely a Two Americas thing.
Okay, because I was going to say, are young
definitely.
Now, I think there are probably young black kids that are in this trend. Like, I bet you, Travis Scott's probably got a kicked up pair of dirty ass shoes that he's bought to look dirty. But I bet the bulk of it, I still think it's like, a fresh pair of J's or shoes like that, right? I feel like this is more leaning towards white culture, right?
Yeah, and it's honestly the people that I've seen with the dirty shoes kind of trend thing purposefully, or maybe not purposefully, but they just end up wearing dirty shoes. It's usually younger white women.
It's white women. White women. I see white guys.
I see younger white women with the dirty Air Forces all the time. The dirty Reeboks used to be white. Maybe even, I could see some hipster, white dudes.
Yeah, I see a lot. That's what I was going to say. I see a lot of hipster white dudes that are I've seen, like Serda has got, like you've got some shoes that have gotten not maybe down this bad, but you've got some shoes that are probably past the days of wearing consistently in my mind that you will probably kick on
Well, now it's I mean, like I have a red pair of like Nike running shoes that I basically like use for yard work and going on walks and stuff that are probably pretty gross.
But I'm talking about like to wear to work and shit, to wear out places. Like
I have a nice pair of Nikes that I wear out. Otherwise, I just wear sandals or slip-ons pretty much all the time. So,
but I see a lot of like hipster young white dudes that want like kicked up Chucks, kicked up, I don't know about forces, but kicked up shoes like that. I'm like, I'm good on that. They don't even look cool to me.
I like how you immediately called out the juxtaposition of like the fresh white laces, against the dirty. Yeah, they stand. I didn't even realize they stand out that much.
I think that's a real misstep by Nike right here. They should have.
Yeah, coffee stain the laces a little bit. Yeah. Piss on them. Make it look normal.
If you look at them, they really went for it. Like they've got the cracks in the shoes.
They got the grass stain on the sole. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they do look weathered and torn and worn. Yeah, there's not a chance in hell. I wouldn't even I wouldn't wear them for free.
Now, what if your kids ask you for a pair of these? Since you are
And I
the
feel
only father of the
and
group,
I feel like that may happen, but I don't. Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't buy them shits. There's no way
feel
I'm
that.
buying them shits. I mean, I'm not gonna stop you if you want to spend your own damn money on that. Like there was some things like my mom, like here, you want to buy that damn FUBU jersey, you buy it. I'm not going as far as buying that damn jersey, but I'm not buying them raggedy ass shoes. You do it. You get you a job and spend your own money. Hell, you do whatever hell you want to with your
I think
money.
my favorite part is that they get uglier as you try to clean them. You can try to clean them. You can
But
try
that's
to
the thing.
clean them up.
But that's the thing is like, listen, I think Nike is brilliant. I bet you they've been sitting around talking about this because you go to your audience. Like they still got people who go and buy, you know,
Fresh whites.
LeBrons or
Yeah,
buy
LeBrons,
Air
yeah.
Forces or buy Dunks or buy. I'm just
Yeah.
saying the different shoes by Kyrie's, by KD's. They still got these. But then, like if you start looking at the prices of like if you go look up dirty sneakers, start looking at the prices, $130, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good deal. Like or to try to go like Serda, just like, yeah, go to the thrift store and go put your damn feet in them shoes that other motherfuckers didn't have their feet in, or just go brand new for $130 and kicked up shits. It's good. I just don't understand how Nike missed the detail of the shoestrings. That's the part that blows it for me. They came up with the idea of, hey, if you clean them bitches, and they should issue a special cleaning kit to go with it. If you clean them bitches, they get even more weathered and worn. But they put in all icy white brand new shoestrings. That detail is stupid to me. I understand that. Oh man. But I bet you I'll see you in a pair. Bet you I see your ass in a pair of them bad boys, Osita.
Never.
Get you a pair of them bad boys.
Nope.
And you want to know how I know? As the NBA playoffs move on again, the Cavs, they lose at home game 1 to the Pacers. The Rockets, they lose at home in game 7, and the Warriors are moving on to take on the Timberwolves, which should be an interesting series as Minnesota's fresh off of kicking the Lakers' ass in 5 to win that series. So he will go from facing Luka and LeBron to now Steph and Jimmy Butler Anthony Edwards. It should be fun. But that's not really the only basketball thing on my mind tonight. And Osita, calm down with your horniness. But
do you know why I was laughing?
I don't know, but I just know where I'm about to go, and I know how you are getting here recently.
All right, my bad. Go for it.
But I just before the Rockets game, and there was another playoff game happening and stuff going around in the sports world. The number one sports thing that was on my timeline, and I believe the number one thing that was trending in sports was Caitlin Clark. And the WNBA season has yet to begin yet, but she played an exhibition game against, I guess, the Brazilian national team, and they dog walked them young ladies.
Wait,
and
the Brazilian national basketball team?
Yes. What are you talking about?
A woman's Brazilian national basketball team?
Yes.
Yes. And apparently they're not good.
Well, no,
I do not care how good they are, Serda.
Oh, you just want to watch them play? Yeah, you did. You're surprised that there's a women's they participated all the sports in the Olympics. They got a volleyball team, they got a soccer team, they got a field hockey team, they've got all of them.
I'm just saying because like my new MO lately is to find myself a basketball baddie, and then we can raise some D1 children. And now that I know that there's Brazilians out there doing this, you know what I'm saying? Let me get a 6'4" Brazilian baddie. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
opens up the whole thing, huh?
Little Pele and little LeBron. You know what I mean? It'll be perfect.
But they beat the hell out of them, and they did play the game at her alma mater in Iowa, and they just sold out Carver Hawkeye Arena. I don't know why I know the name of that arena, but they sold that bitch out, and she was going off, man. She hit a logo three. She had I think a 38-footer, and not like as the buzzer was coming down. She just came down and pulled up, and she was having fun. But everybody was talking about her, and it just it got me to thinking. And I want to throw this conversation with you all and the folks listening. You can comment on the chat. Again, like and subscribe our Foolish Club media channel. Nightly Fix every night. But do you think there's a higher ceiling of interest and popularity to Caitlin Clark than we are right now? Like, you think there's another level? Because I wondered, will it ever get as high as, hey, she had those runs to the Final Four and to the national championship game, and she had the stuff with Angel that kind of went over the lines of sport. Then she came back and got all the way back to the end again, and she had her greatness, and she had the scoring title, and then it moved to, she's entering the WNBA now, and now there's interest in the new toy, the new thing. But she's trending, playing an exhibition game during the NBA playoffs against Brazil, a team Osita, one of the hosts on this show, just now 4 minutes ago found out there was a name of a team. And she is trending in one of the number one basketball conversations, and her season hasn't started. I wondered if we saw the cap of intrigue and interest in Caitlin Clark. And now she's gotten into but it feels like people are just taken aback and just kind of go to her. Like she is somebody that just brings in an audience. And it feels like to me, there is a chance this thing can get bigger and the interest in her can get bigger even more than it has been the last 2 years.
I mean, I'd agree. I feel like I don't think there's a ceiling to how popular she can be. She definitely exudes a lot of the qualities that men are looking for in a good quality woman. You know, you thought I was going to talk about Caitlin and not talk about this? Like I'm kidding. But anyway, I mean, I feel like
I was going to say, but no, but sometimes there is interest in that, and I don't think that's towards the top of the list. Like I know
No.
how you feel about her.
Bro, she's a
Think.
hooper. She's a hooper's hooper. She's literally a hooper's hooper. Like if you ever hung out with girls that play basketball, that are like super cool and super good and super talented, she reminds me of everybody I grew up playing with at the Y. You know what I mean? Like all the girls I grew up playing with at the Y. I could see her being a bigger star than she is currently. You know what I mean? Especially as soon as the season hits, as soon as they start winning championships, if they can really get something going, I feel like she's going to be big, personally. Besides the fact that I want her to be my wife, but you know,
I know.
Oh.
I wondered if people would continue to care about it to the level of it raising.
I mean, yeah, she's the biggest player in the WNBA, and the WNBA as a sport is just continuing to rise. Women's basketball is continuing to rise. Like now, you know how much coverage they're getting about like the women's draft and these women's college teams and like how big some of these like women's college athletes are now. And the reason that had been on the rise, but it had never reached the heights of Caitlin Clark. And now she's only going to get better at the professional level. She's gonna inevitably be the best player in the WNBA in all likelihood. She's already the most famous. And as women's basketball continues to grow and become more and more popular, she will continue to be the face of all of that. Like, yeah, I don't think we're even close to what her ceiling could actually be in terms of like fan base and popularity.
Yeah, but to the point you said, I mean, how many times have we seen like, all right, the face of the WNBA is going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing to a level that the public that not just loves but gives a shit about, like cares about, like that's and really like any women's sports, like what women have broken through, what the Serena, I don't even want to say the Williams sisters. I think Serena has, what other women have broken out to where, all right, you see the initial intrigue of whatever it is, and then America as a whole keeps caring, and then we keep wanting to what, like we see it all the time with men, right? Like male athletes, we see like, all right, hey, Patrick Mahomes has done this. We keep caring to go back. That's like Serena is the only one more recently, and I'm sure there's some others that people will throw out.
Simone Biles, like Katie Ledecky, like, but I think those are all individualized sports where it's like team sports. It's a lot harder to do.
Yeah, and well, and they just have a thing where they're in a rise, and every 4 years, that's just what their sport comes up. Like nobody gives a damn about Katie Ledecky now. They'll give a damn about her because the Olympics come. Or even Simone.
She's one of the greatest swimmers that's ever lived.
I know, but you don't give a shit about her relays. Like she just broke her. She's
not watching anything out of the Summer Olympics.
Yeah, but like it feels like, I'm not gonna lie to you, fellas. I thought the Caitlin Clark coverage this year, or not the coverage, but the interest and how much she was a conversation starter or talk or popularity or draw, I thought that would slow up this year. I thought, all right, the novelty is over, right? We've seen it. We've watched it. I thought women's basketball would be watched more, continue to be watched more than ever. But I thought the care of it from the public would slow down. I think I'm dead wrong on that. I think this thing may cap off and grow even more. And to the point that Osita said, she is a hooper, right? And she's going to be better than she was last year. Like she might be the MVP, right? And whatever is different, because I would also say to you, Osita, Diana Taurasi, she was a hooper and is a hooper, right? And Breanna Stewart is a hooper. Like there have been hoopers. We didn't give a shit about them after like they first kind of showed us who they were. It didn't increase. Like even Asia Wilson is a hooper and she's won all these MVPs. And they're like, at first, oh, cool, but like it didn't draw us to the set more. This, I mean, their ratings might increase from last year. And I'll be honest, I didn't remember they were up like 130% in viewership. Like I didn't think it, but like it's not slowing down at all. Like the interest in Caitlin Clark is still huge. And to the point you're making, it's not like because guys want to screw her.
I mean,
Like,
just don't sell her short. I mean, just wait till she gets her Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, and we'll see exactly who's talking about what.
I'm just saying.
You know what I mean? Like, let's.
Like, do you think, like, honest to God, to the growing public, especially the men, do you think sexual attraction is the top 3 reason that they're into Caitlin Clark?
You don't think she's cute?
She's a nice young lady. She's fine. Like
now she's fine.
No, I don't mean fine like that. I mean like she's cool. She's all right. Like that's not my thing. I'm just saying, like, I don't think like Anna Kournikova, when she got popular, people like the sexual part of it was a big part of it. Danica Patrick, when she got popular, the looks of it was a big part of it. Serena, when she got in that Catwoman outfit, oh my God. Like that was a part of the drive to it. Like it is the greatness of her. For some, it is what she represents to them and to the other women and athletes that are in the sport. Like, and then there's some FOMO for some people who just don't want to miss out. It is going to be an interesting thing to watch because I'm intrigued, but I'm a hardcore sports fan. I wondered if that would continue to grow, and I don't think it's slowing down. Brazil, that thing was 90-36 at one point, that game, and that's all people are talking about. So shout out to Caitlin, man. I didn't know. I wonder how much of this year's coverage will be about, the race element in the background, or will this be more about just the on the court play? If they can move this shit, Osita, and it rises and jumps up and it's more to do about on the court, that is sustainable. That is something that is sustainable for the league.
I say, given the strange timeline that we seem to be on currently, I could see the race thing being a big thing.
But that's how it kicked off. That's how it started.
Given the state of affairs and stuff like that, people are feeling a certain type of way about everything. So now, unless they could kind of make men's, between her and who's the girl, the other girl.
There is men's, mate. They don't have a problem with each other. It's more the people that's on the outside. Now I will say this. I think Angel has a bit of a jealousy thing towards her, which I understand. But I don't think it's that. It's more of a competitive thing. But I do think she is like damn, this girl gets all the credit, and we all are doing. I think that's a bit of a thing with Angel. I will say that the thing is, I think black folks find it hard to dislike her. Find it harder to, because at first there were a lot of we're picking sides here. All right, I got to rock on the other side, but I think the way that she's carried herself and how she goes about her business, I think she is garnering more fans in what started as kind of a race thing that go across the board than others. Now, Angel ain't gonna get no fans from the other side, but I do think Caitlin has got some fans from the other side. So I'm horny for it. I can't wait to see how this thing goes.
You had to say that. You had to go there.
But yeah, I'm not horny for her, but just horny for
okay.
The situation.
Now you're not horny for her. Before you were horny for it. Now you're not horny for her. Man,
I'm not.
Pick a side, bro.
I'm not. I do think you found it. I think you did. On it. I did think you found a good photo, Serda. I thought it was a good photo of her.
Oh, now it's a good photo, Serda. You heard that? It's a good photo. It is a good photo. It is a
her teeth. Her teeth are good. Nice. Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, I saw that. What was that? Who's that girl? Cam Brinkley is that her last name?
Now her lead is not basketball, which I think a lot of guys that have intrigue with her.
Yeah. Even Paige, what's her name? Paige Becker said some shit like that this weekend. She was like, "Oh, it's hot over here. Not hotter than me." And I was like, "Oh, now you're a little bit too into yourself." See, there's something about Caitlyn where it's like she knows she's bad,
She knows
but she just kind of keeps it chill.
as a basketball.
Keeps it chill.
Yeah. As a basketball player. Yeah, I hear you. Hey,
No, she's a baddie, dude. She's a attractive woman.
yeah, man. Yeah. And she's all yours, but except for that boyfriend of hers.
What?
Except for that boyfriend of hers.
She got a boyfriend?
What's his
Yeah.
name?
He was the coach's son, Fran
Oh, it would
McCaffrey's
be.
son. He was the Iowa's basketball. He's been fired now, but Iowa's basketball coaches. It was his son. It was Fran McCaffrey's son. Had been her boyfriend. Yeah, he was on the basketball team too. He had been knocking her off. By the way, but
Lame.
She's got to do better than that.
no,
Really?
that's
Moving up
perfect.
in the world,
Like-
Caitlyn.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you guys could be happy together. I know you'd hold her down. I do.
Of course.
By the way, I was watching
Rubber Pete after she finished playing.
Saturday Night Live yesterday, and Quinta Brunson was on it, and I like her. I think she's genius, very very smart. And Serda, I know you've been on this. I don't know if you've watched this, but I'm watching her, and I'm just kind of going back in my mind. I'm thinking, I feel like Abbott Elementary needs to come to an end soon.
Why?
I just I feel like we have reached I think another season. I think they're completing, this is the completion of season 4.
Yeah,
I think
I'm caught up on season 4.
I think we are getting close to running out of stories to tell.
Nah. Sorry, continue.
I just think we're getting personally, I think we're getting close to running out of stories to tell that really the audience comes up like cared about. I think they could stretch the bitch. I think they could go a lot of different places. But to me, if they go a lot of different places, I think one, it would be a situation of them reaching. And then two, I think it would be them going into characters that I personally don't think they need to go deeper into. Right? Like to me, when Gregory and what's her name on the show? What's the main character's name?
I can't remember. But yeah,
but
it's Quinta Brunson's character.
Janine,
yeah.
Janine, yeah.
Once they got together, and now we've seen them come together, and now they're like, what's the other story line that you want? Like, I don't need to go any deeper with Jacob.
So they got them. They got them together too early. They didn't drag it out.
No,
like the
no,
Office did
Yeah,
with
I was gonna say.
Pam.
I was gonna say like Jim and Pam. Jim and Pam took forever
No,
to get together, dude.
They drug it out. It took them 3 seasons. They duped us a couple of times. They drug it out. I just think, and to me, 5 seasons is fine. Is good because that's why I respect what I mean. I am just drawing blanks all day. Let's just fucking soccer with Jason Sudeikis.
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
I thought Ted Lasso, I was like, bam, that's perfect. Didn't stretch this thing, didn't come up with, because some shows stretch it.
But Ted Lasso's coming back for another season now, though.
Are they?
Yes.
See, I think that's a terrible idea.
They announced it. They said the last season was the final season, and then after they aired the final season, people didn't like it that much, and now all of a sudden they're making another season.
Oh, that's stupid. I'm against that. I hate that. I thought that was enough. I think sometimes you start stretching and people start going to 8, 9 seasons, and then you see them start stretching, and I feel like they either start telling the same story over, or they reach and start telling me stories I don't give a damn about. And
yeah,
to me, I didn't need to see. I'll be honest with you, I didn't need to see Will and Carlton go to college.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying there wasn't some good stuff there. But first off, to be a little Steve Serda, it was unreal. They're going to tell me this son of a bitch Carlton the whole way looks like he's going to go to Harvard or something, and now he is at this. Him and Will are in the same college. Is that where I'm supposed to be led to believe when their family went to Princeton and he's at this place? Like, get out of here. They just drug it to make it to try to keep the story and keep the show together.
Oh,
But I
sure.
think that's a reach. I'm not gonna say it's awful. Like I know you didn't watch this. I felt like Everybody Loves Raymond could have ended 2 or 3 seasons earlier than the 9 it got. There are just, to me, it feels like, because like, what else are you interested in on Abby? Like, what other stories are you interested in?
Well, I mean, I'm interested in a lighthearted show that makes me laugh, that isn't depressing, and that isn't making me like sit there and try to work out serious problems or try to figure out the next turn or twist that it's gonna take. Like Abbott is just a pleasant,
Fuck you, Steve.
fun
No.
show. Like it's a feel good show, and so I just enjoy watching it for that. I don't need
Fuck
it
you,
to
Steve.
test me or
No.
push me in any way.
Jacob,
I think, is one of the funniest characters on television right now. Like,
but
I'm
Steve,
totally fine with it.
Steve, nope, you don't get to have your cake eat it too. One of the reasons that you love it is because it's well done and well written, and it makes sense.
It's also certainly not original. It's just copying The Office and Parks and Rec and like all of these shows that have done this exact kind of show before. But it's great because of the characters and because of the writing and because of the characters that they've developed over the course of 4 seasons.
And to me, if they get to a point where they stretch this, because I think The Office probably went too long. I think Parks and Rec.
I do agree, but then like there's plenty of shows that went way too long. The Office should have ended when Steve Carell left, because it just simply wasn't the same after that, and they decided to drag it out. Like I think, but like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is still going, like, and they still make funny episodes. Like they're still ridiculous. They just don't make as many as they used to. Like they used to make 20 episode seasons, and now they just kind of make episodes when they feel like it, and they'll come out with like a 6-episode season, and it'll be their first season they put out in 3 years or something.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead, Osita.
I think I could deal with at least like 2 more seasons of Barbara, like just mispronouncing things and saying the wrong thing. That shit's hilarious to me. I feel like they should have like an episode of Mr. Johnson, like his private life, like what happens after he leaves the school, because he seems to have a pretty good lore. Miss Shementi, I could see. I want to see what kind of like what her family's really like her and the sister and everything else. Like I want to dive more into that. Bring back Vince Staples while we're at it. Vince Staples is a great character. Couldn't really act too well, but he looked really cool doing it. You know what I mean? What else? Who's that one person?
See, do you really want that? Like, do you?
Why would I say it if I don't want it?
Like, do you really? But do you really? Like, that's to me where I think shows go too long. Is now what we're going to do is we're going to stretch it by going too far into the secondary characters. Like that going too far. Like Mr. Johnson to me works just because I don't know like what he does and all his shit that he goes. I don't need to go in deeper to find out his home life.
Okay, but also these shows, like these kinds of shows, can go that long, and it's more about the relationships that the audience builds to the character than it is necessarily about like us trying to like get answers or have like storylines. Like no, like if you've watched 4 episodes of Abbott Elementary, you're just invested in the people at this school and the characters, and you're gonna watch it for as long as they make it, because that's just the way that it is. That's how sitcoms in these procedural network television shows work.
But hold on, there aren't, because I feel like I hear that, especially Serda, that you're separating like a sitcom and comedy from like a drama, right? Because I know you hate if fucking Dexter or a drama show went too far.
Dexter's literally lasted way too long. Not only did it last too long, it was awful for the last like 3 seasons. Then they tried to make a revival that was also garbage, and now they're making a Dexter prequel. I don't need any more Dexter. I'm not going to watch any more Dexter ever for the rest of my life.
Like for me, even shows that I like, because I know they can make funny stuff. Like I know they can do that. Like for instance, for me, I don't like, after watching it, I don't think Curb needed to come back.
Come on, dude.
I thought the
I
final
don't.
season was great.
Yeah.
I thought there was some funny. There's some funny stuff. I don't think it needed to come back. I think it was good where it was. I don't think it needed to come back. And
It was cool having like a little bit of an update, like because it's like another one of those things that's like it's not satirical, but it takes place in like the current time, and so like him going through these like awkward things within like 2023, 2024, whenever the hell the new seasons were. I thought it was pretty fucking funny. I thought it was great.
I'm not saying no. Listen, I'm not saying it's not funny, right? I'm not saying that there's not good stuff. I just think they're pushing the envelope, like because I do. Like we've named them. Like I think they're pushing the envelope of going too far, and just because the other places they have to go, like I think they've now this season has really been about Janine and him together, right? That's what this kind of season was. It's been the chase. And now for me, they're together. Like, you know what? I don't need a child introduced. Like I don't.
Great.
Oh,
That'd be wonderful.
No,
That'd be wonderful.
I don't need a
No,
child.
I mean I don't need that. I don't need that either. But like Parks and Rec didn't do that, and like they did like later. Like they had like a big time jump, but they jumped like 10 years, and they're like, oh, now they're married and they got kids and stuff like that. Like, but they didn't make it a part of the show.
I'm just saying. I hope. And plus, like, and I think once you're creative and you just banging on something in a long time, I think the writing gets lazier.
Or
like
it
once
gets more creative.
it could, like, but I don't. I think they're going. I think they have to push the walls of telling the stories, more stories like Osita just brought up with all of those other actresses or those other actors and actresses, and I just don't. I don't think now we're moving into something else different. All right, take us home, Osita.
All right. Well, first and foremost, like and subscribe to the Nightly Fix if you want to hear more crazy shit like this and more crazy stories. Shout out to Jojo Potato because he asked if I was still in touch with that French redhead. And I'll have you know that the last time I saw her,